Hello. I am here to talk to you about the threats that are faced when using a computer and using the internet. And these range from viruses to identity theft and malware, spam, spyware. Uh, Now, the first thing I want to get into is identity theft, and that's the biggest issue on that I want to discuss. Ways that identity theft can occur is through dumpster diving, which is where uh, a predator wants to rummage through trash looking for bills or other paper with your personal information on it. Now that of course isn't really so much computer related, but in a sense a thief could do dumpster diving on a computer if you do have your bills set up to for e-statements. There is also skimming, where they steal credit and debit card numbers by using a special storage device when processing your card. Um, then there's another one called phishing, and this is where they pretend to be uh, financial institutions or companies or government agencies, anything of the sort, and they'll send you maybe an email or a letter, and they usually email to get you to reveal personal information, usually by sending a link that looks like a legitimate link but is in fact not. Um, Hacking, that's where they just hack into your email account or other any other accounts, like such as through bank or through Facebook or other social networking, or into a company's database and accesses your records. And this can happen with schools. Educational institutions are faced with this these issues all the time. This can happen at the workplace because a lot of times higher education and jobs require you to issue out your social security number. And then there's just regular stealing, where people steal wallets and that have driver's license, social security numbers, credit cards, and checks, and they pretend to be you. So that's some of the ways, and this can really affect your credit rating and other issue and other areas when mainly financially, um, but when you go, if you suspect fraud, you should automatically notify um, the credit card company if that's the case that they stole that. Also, you can look for your free credit report, like by using Experian, TransUnion, or Equifax. Um, but if you're getting bills that may be for something that you don't even aren't subscribed to, or they're not arriving on time, or the bills are higher than expected, you need to notify your companies, your credit card companies, and let them know, and that way you won't get penalized for such um, for it. But ways that individuals can be attacked is through one thing is social engineering. Now, this has to do with like malware. It's just a fancy name for tricking the victim into doing something against his or her interests. And usually viruses and worms try to do things like this with email attachments, and they say they won something like a lottery or a free iPod, and in actual reality, they're just launching a virus onto your computer. Um, Spam is probably one of the most annoying things, and it happens like day in and day out. You get sent just random junk email, and that that could have a virus, cannot, but it's just unwanted. You don't need it, and it's just annoying. Another thing is fraud. Fraud, of course, can is where you're lying to the victims to do something against their financial interests. Basically, you're trying to get their credit card information, or trying to make them give you some sort of money or a check or accept a check that for money they don't even have. And yeah, it's very interest-worthy. There's email attachments, but I don't need to describe that to you. Um, there's links to websites that have malware and such. So, and there's phishing attacks, which I already described to you, credit card number theft, and lastly, identity theft. Now, hacking is defined as intentionally using a computer resource without authorization. And I'm reading this off of a book just to give you its basic definition, but it's basically another way to try to steal somebody's information by using their computer or hacking in. Now, this is where we need to become proactive. There are many products out there on the market, like such as Norton Antivirus or AVG, or there's other ones as well. Those are two of the big name ones where you install that onto your computer and it protects from viruses. Now, of course, these things need to be updated every year because there's new, stronger viruses that can get past the antivirus software. So, there are other ways also you can get viruses. Now, in the age of where, especially young people who do not like to pay for music, you can get viruses through illegally downloading music. If you bought your music from iTunes or from Rhapsody or from Amazon, it's safe. It's pretty safe. But if you get it off of things like FrostWire, LimeWire, BitTorrent, it's not guaranteed. There's someone who could be attaching a virus to it. And so you definitely have to be careful and to limit your use. You shouldn't be doing it, but if you do, you should definitely be more careful because of it. Now, there's also the issue of people who just want to do other illegal things, have other motives like cyber stalking, cyberbullying, even just asking for sexual favors when it's extremely unwanted. There are laws against bullying and cyberbullying. Laws are starting to become more prevalent in the United States because of all these issues. People are being harassed, people are being murdered, and it's something that we should definitely be proactive. And also, another key thing is setting up a secure internet connection, or if you have wireless, setting it up securely so that someone needs a key to access it, a password of some sort, and so that way no outsiders have access to it, unless if you want them to. You can get more information on this at ftc.gov/ID theft. And also there are books and other websites giving more such material. I hope this was somewhat informative. Thank you.